What room feels the heaviest to you? Inside my parents' haunted home, my dad passed here. This was the dining area. I regularly saw a young woman walking from the garage through here into my bedroom. This living room was awful at night. My adopted dad also passed in this room. He was a really bad guy. I always felt watched through the windows and from the hallway. The lights would regularly flicker, too. Things in the kitchen would randomly fall. The second living room behind the kitchen was the scariest room in the house. I would hear knocking on that sliding door from the outside at night. When we would have repairs done, the repairman hated going in this room and said there was a woman with black hair in here talking to him. The closet doors would open and close. These are the closet doors. I also saw eyes staring back at me when I'd look through the closet doors. Those sensitive to energies, what do you feel here? My daughter had a toilet that would play music when she used it in here. When I was home alone, it would go off on its own constantly until someone came back. I also saw eyes staring at me from this window. When I was outside, I'd see shadows walking by this window. I saw a very old woman with no hair and big eyes out here once. She saw me stare at her and then she vanished. This was my backyard. Never a good idea to look out here at night. My dad's ashes were kept in here. It was my parents' room. When I'd lay in bed with my mom, I had horrible nightmares of my dad. Again, he was a horrible man. At the end, no room felt safe. This was my room. I'd constantly hear footsteps up to my door. I took this picture, and one of my friends said it looks like a man in a business suit in the mirror.
There's a man pacing outside the home. Okay, he doesn't come inside. He's outside. He's trying to get in. The reason why he's trying to get in is he's trying to save somebody who's trying to hurt themselves inside. That's all I'm going to say. But the knocking and the sounds, this person is outside. He never comes inside. The female, those are the eyes in the bathroom out the window that she was seeing. Those are females. This female has nothing to do with the male I just described. Completely different lifetimes, completely different people, no relation to each other. The female, she's a gossip, and she's like snooping, and that's what she did. She would snoop. She was always in everyone's business. And she could pass all the way over to the other side. She's not stuck. She just is choosing to stay there because her whole world was revolved around everybody's business and gossip. She didn't have a life of her own. She was very depressed because of that. She isolated herself. She wasn't good at making friends. This person here, self-centered, arrogant, gets off on power, like even in the afterlife, is like really enjoys watching people get scared, watching people be scared, is just mean and vindictive and deceitful and hurtful. And this person won't cross over because they know that when they get to the other side, there will be questions asked of their behavior. This person is causing the bulk of the chaos now in that home. Okay, so here she's feeling old woman, no hair, big eyes. That woman doesn't even belong on this property. I feel like she's coming from probably out in the woods area that she described was really creepy, because out in the woods, there's just all kinds of energy out there. Like, could be a portal, like people say, has nothing to do with this house. And I don't feel like she's at this house often. She's kind of moving around, scaring a lot of people. The masculine energy that is walking the perimeter, that's who I'm feeling looking at her there. Okay, so who is the repairman seeing in this room? Housewife, nervous female energy. She feels like she had 2 kids, maybe 3, was always nervous because she didn't trust her husband and was constantly like asking people, have you seen him? What is he doing? Why is he doing that? Where is he? Not trusting and trying to get information to prove that her panic and anxiety is real. I feel like a lot of her anxiousness and paranoia wasn't real, and that's what's holding her here in this space.